Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? We greatly appreciate it. Come on in, make yourself at home. You know the routine. This week for my collection video, bringing to you something that's very nostalgic for me. It brings back days of getting up early on a Saturday morning, grab some cereal, and jumping my butt right in front of the TV to watch Saturday morning cartoons. Something about Saturday morning cartoons in the 70s are just iconic, different, and it was just kind of a new thing. TV really hadn't been in existence that long. So I'm going to share with you some of my favorite DVD and Blu-ray cartoons from the 70s. So without further ado, sit back, relax, have a drink, have a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. Back at the Black Cave, back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. I'm just going to jump right into it. And these are in no particular order. But my first pick for favorite cartoons from the 70s, this is the 1978 action animation family science fiction film or series, Challenge of the Super Friends. This was directed by Ray Patterson, produced by Don Jurwich, written by Jeffrey Scott, had the voices of Frank Welker, Jack Angel, Michael Bell, Casey Kasem, better known as Kasem Kasem, the DJ from the 70s, Don Messick. And this is the plot behind the series. The greatest of the DC Comics superheroes work together to uphold the good with the help of some young proteges. And this is a Hanna-Barbera joint. Most of these are going to be Hanna-Barbera. They were like huge in the 70s. And I know they have other Super Friends, Justice Leagues, but those are from the 2000s and 90s. These are actually from the 70s when I was a kid. So I actually saw these live in effect on television before cable. And of course, this is a Warner Brothers joint. You gotta love that old school animation. You got the Wonder Twins. Form of Ice. He had the really bad deal. He could only do water. Form of Water. Form of Ice. Form of Ice Cubes. Then she could do all the animals though. But this is the 1978 cartoon series Challenge of the Super Friends. Next I have Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 3, and I can't give you a year because these are 60 different shorts from Looney Tunes ranging from the 1935 all the way to the 50s, so there's no definitive year, but and this is actually Volume 3. I picked this up at the pawn shop, and I know Warner Brothers is releasing a lot of these on Blu-ray. So I'll probably eventually get around to those. You know how I do. Try to get the most cost-effective price I can get. But these are classic. Elmer Fudd. See, that's Porky Pig. He looks like Elmer Fudd with the hat on. Porky Pig. See who else? Daffy Duck. Porky again, and Tweety Bird. Wild E. Coyote, the Road Runner. So just a plethora of golden Looney Tunes. And of course, this is a Warner Brothers release. Looney Tunes Golden Collection, Volume 3. Next, I have the complete original series of Scooby-Doo from 69 to 1970. This was directed by Joseph Barbera, produced by Joseph Barbera, written by Ken Spears, voiced by Frank Welker, Gene Vanderpyle, Al Smith, Don Messick, and my friend Casey Kasem. Um, the plot behind this: join the spook-busting, case-cracking, snack-munching fun as Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Inc. gang gear up for their most frightening adventures ever. And I normally don't do like the kind of gimmicky box sets and stuff like that just because of space, so I couldn't pass this up. Fantastic little thing. You have the, I'm gonna take it out, the little mini fun pop here. Have the building. Then you have the actual complete series here. Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, Fred. Little back art here. Comes with a little Scooby-Doo encyclopedia, which is very cool. And of course I have, because for some reason they didn't include the Scooby-Doo movies in the complete series, I think because this came later on. I think these are probably in the earlier 70s. But this has almost all the movies. And that was a big thing back in the day. You had cartoons with actual kind of real live actors in it, such as Tim Conway. You had the Harlem Globetrotters. Of course, you had other cartoons. You had Dick Van Dyke, Speed Buggy, Don Adams, Josie and the Pussycats, Don Knotts. So cartoon was a lot different than they are now. So one of my favorite cartoons growing up, Scooby-Doo. Next we have the 1962 animation comedy family science fiction series, The Jetsons. This was directed and produced by Joseph Barbera, written by Tony Benedict, voices by Dawes Butler, George Ohanian, Janet Waldo, Penny Singleton, Don Messick. And these voices you're going to hear again. They're very repetitive though. But the plot behind this, Jetsons, is an animated sitcom that was produced by Hanna-Barbera. Hanna-Barbera. It was Hanna-Barbera's space-age counterpart to the Flintstones, a half-hour family sitcom projecting contemporary American culture and lifestyles in another time period. Loved this show growing up. Loved the theme song to this. Still remember Jack Screamer. I believe that was the guy back then. Very interesting though. They actually have a Jetsons movie. It's on Kino Lorber. It's not Warner Brothers. I'm not sure how that worked out, but it did though. But fantastic show. Still watch it. The first time I saw this on a Blu-ray, the color, just everything just blew my mind. It's like a really cool acid trip though. But my other favorite childhood cartoons from the 70s, The Jetsons. Next, I have the 1964 action-adventure animation family science fiction film, Jonny Quest, the complete series. This was directed and produced by Joseph Barbera, written by Doug Wildey, voice of Tim Matheson, Don Messick, Mike Road, Danny Bravo, Henry Corden. The plot behind this, adventures of Jonny Quest and his father, Dr. Benton Quest. Along for the adventure is the multifaceted Race Bannon, the mystical Haji, and Johnny's dog, the irresistible bandit. They solve mysterious mysteries and try to thwart the evil Dr. Zen. Love the theme song of this also. Haji was probably one of the coolest dudes. Simbalabim, he just is really cool Indian kind of mystic guy. Race Bannon was kind of like the James Bond of the group. Mr. Quest was the intellectual, and Johnny was the star of the show. It's looking back, it's for kids in the 70s, is very adult. This is a lot of things that they're going through, but fun series, great animation, another Hanna-Barbera classic. Warner Brothers, of course, Johnny Quest. Next, we have the complete original series of the original series, The Flintstones. It's a 1960 adventure animation comedy family show. This was directed, produced, and written by Joseph Barbera. Voices by John Vanderpyle, Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc did a lot of voices. He was Bugs Bunny's voice. Alan Reed, Bea Benaderet, John Stevenson. The plot behind the series: the popular animated television cartoon features two Stone Age families, the Flintstones and their neighbors, the Rubbles. Much of the humor was based on its comic portrayal of modern conveniences, reinterpreted using Stone Age technology. And this is so popular, it spawned spin-offs of cartoons, which is kind of a wild. Cartoons having spin-offs. Bam Bam and Pebbles. They actually had their own cartoon with Schlep Rock. I used to love watching that. It became so popular, they actually had two live animation movies. First one was pretty good. Second one was kind of a flop. They changed all the characters in the second movie, so I think that kind of had an impact on it. And I'm really waiting to see, since they did the Flintstones and they're so big into live animation, and I've also seen some AI videos. I wonder if they can do Jetsons, a live movie of the Jetsons, live version of the Jetsons, like they've done everything else. This is the complete series. And how long did they last? How many seasons? They did 3 complete seasons. The Flintstones, and of course this is Warner Brothers. I'll put that in later. The Flintstones. Next, I have the 80th anniversary collection set, Bugs Bunny. This actually, Bugs Bunny came out in 1940. It's directed by Charles M. Jones, produced by Henry Binder, written by Rich Hogan. Voices Mel Blanc as a rabbit and Arthur Q. Bryan as Elmer Fudd. Bugs Bunny first hopped onto the screen in 1940, and he's been a pop culture icon ever since. More than 8 generations have enjoyed the timeless antics of the carrot-munching wise guy who always outsmarts his rivals. And again, Bugs has been around before my mother was born. That's how long Bugs Bunny has been long. And that just proves that quality, whether it's cartoons, live movies, if it's quality, it'll stick around for a while. This has stuck around for decades. You have the Tasmanian Devil and Bugs in here, Daffy and Bugs, Elmer and Bugs, and these are just, I guess, 80 years of Bugs Bunny shorts. I'm not going to take all this out. There's a little fun pop in here with Bugs. And this one's actually, I think they're numbered here. Yeah, they made quite a few. They made 30,000. This is 10,952. So the 80th anniversary of Bugs Bunny, and again, more Warner Brothers. Next, I have the 1942 to 1955 animation shorts from Tex Avery. This is I believe this is in French. I believe this is in French. It's also in English also. But I kind of have to laugh, and I used to love Droopy in this. As you get older, you sometimes forget about things that you experienced when you were younger. I know the new generations might be considered over-sexualized, hell, we grew up with cleavage and objectifying women back when we were kids. So Gen X really can't talk about any other generations. This was, I think, the country wolf and the city wolf, something like that. Yeah, that's the city wolf. So probably a little bit too advanced for our age back then. A lot of sexual overtones to the cartoons, but now I can still look upon these with great nostalgia and still brings back great memories from these cartoon shorts, especially the droopy one, and especially her. I think she might have been kind of the prototype for Jessica Rabbit, if you can kind of see the red hair and the cleavage. And it comes in this very nice little tin case here, and it gives you a little let's see what this is. Just gives you some of the sketching of some of the original cartoons. So, and this is also, pretty sure it's Warner Brothers. So, Tex Avery shorts. Next, I have the 1966 anime family film Speed Racer. This is directed by Hiroshi Sasagawa, written by Tatsuo Yoshida, voices by Peter Fernandez, Corinne Orr, Katsuji Mori, Jack Curtis, Jack Grimes. If you're not familiar with Speed Racer, teenager Go aspires to be the world's best race car champion with the help of his friends, family, and his father, high-tech race car, the Mach 5. And this is probably my first exposure to Japanese anime, and it was just really different. The movement of the cartoons were different, and again, 70s had some of the best theme songs for cartoons. Here comes Speed Racer. He's the demon on wheels. I mean, you can't beat better than Speed Racer. And this actually spawned a movie, which I think kind of flopped though, but this is kind of like a drama for children almost, so an action drama for children. Speed Racer, the complete series. So if you're not familiar with that early Japanese animation, 60s, 70s, definitely check out Speed Racer. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go. And lastly, we have the Saturday morning cartoon from 1972, The Jackson 5. And I was actually alive when this came out. I have very vague memories of this, but the songs are immortal forever. ABC, I'll be there. I want you back. The love you save. Just a very cute 70s cartoon back then. It was not a big deal for groups. I think the Osmonds might have had a cartoon at one time. It seemed like back in the day, everybody had a cartoon, or they were on a cartoon as a guest host. Sonny and Cher, all these people. So, very fond memory of the Jackson 5s. Michael, may he rest in peace. This is, I believe, out of print because it's very hard to find. I believe I got this at a pawn shop back in the day. So my last pick for favorite cartoons of the 70s from my childhood, Jackson 5. And these are my favorite DVD and Blu-ray childhood series from my childhood. If you made this far in the video, smash the like, give me the big thumbs up. If you have a favorite childhood show, leave it in the comments. I actually have some more in order that are coming in. I'll let you guys know as they come in what they are. But again, if you made this far, smash the like, give me the big thumbs up. You haven't subscribed yet? What's wrong? Go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't hurt. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.